It's 3:30 at the Edge of America, and the Icebox Radio Theater is on the air. That's right, everybody. Once again, it's time for the Icebox Radio Theater's live from the Icebox program. That's right, a little bit of live broadcasting coming to you from International Falls, Minnesota. Oh my goodness, so much stuff we got going on. We are going to be taking a look at the world of adventure today, including my cough, because I should have drank water before I started. But we're going to be enjoying an edition of Bush Pilot. This is the original series that we produced 4 or 5 episodes here, written by Mr. Dave Irwin, formerly our sound effects artiste, as well as a wonderful companion piece in adventure. Going to be enjoying an episode of Challenge of the Yukon. That's, of course, Sergeant Preston and his dog King, with an episode entitled The Young Camper. All of that, plus, of course, we got a lot of great news from the Icebox Radio Theater. It was a big week here. We did have a show on Friday night, the Coffee Landing Radio Hour. Look forward to telling you all about that and more on this edition of the Live from the Icebox program. But first, of course, a word from our sponsor.
Howdy, folks. Are you looking for a friendly place to put on the feed bag? Want to stick to your ribs meal that won't break the bank? And do you suffer from the myriad of maladies that come from America's notoriously unhealthy obsession with meals high in fat and sugar? Well, then come on down to Slaughter & Bob's All-Vegan Steakhouse. That's right, friend. Modern science has given us what you never knew you wanted. A juicy, medium-rare porthouse or T-bone that's 100% cruelty-free. At Slaughter & Bob's All-Vegan Steakhouse, our patented recipe will give you a delicious steak your colon will love as much as your taste buds. We combine nuts, grains, almond milk, and various byproducts of the wood pulp industry, then finish with Bob's special recipe of 437 herbs and spices. Press it into a mold, fry it up, and bring it right to your table. But that's not all. To add that special touch of authenticity, our very own herd of cattle will be trotted through the restaurant every hour, on the hour, and pushed through a trap into the faux killing floor. Oh, but don't worry, the noise of the hydraulic kill hammer is just a pre-recorded sound effect. Our cows are let loose in the pasture out back, where they frolic and relax in the sunshine until their next show. Or until their next therapy session, which seems to be necessary for some of the cows that have been here too long. That's Slaughter & Bob's All-Vegan Steakhouse, just down Route 2 next door to the rendering plant. If you're hungry for a steak, we sell food at Slaughter & Bob's.
Fantastic. That's, of course, Hirath Bones and myself playing the cow. That was from a show we did in the park, oh boy, about nearly 9 months ago now. That was the park show from 2025, in which we featured some Western adventure, an episode of Gunsmoke, as well as something called a Location Scout that I believe is up in podcast areas, podcasts all over the place. Sorry, I'm still a little logy from Friday, to be honest. I've had 2 days off, and it's finally, recovery is finally coming, which brings us to. Thank you. Goodness. Technical difficulties here on a beautiful sunny day. It's the news from the Icebox Radio Theater, all the happenings this week. Starting with the metrics, of course, Twitter followers this week. We dropped one. Oh well, 670 is our total number of Twitter followers this week over last. Picked up some Facebook followers, though. 944 is that total, which is up 4 from last week. Instagram picked up a few as well. 321 Instagram followers. That's up 3. Picked up a new patron on Patreon. Very exciting. 67 is our total right now. And we still have 47 wonderful, wonderful members. Streaming radio station. It's interesting. We've been doing this on the streaming radio station. We also did the big Coffee Landing show on the radio station. And yet we lost a few. We had fewer unique listeners this month. 644, down from 782. These listeners represented 70 countries, which is down 3 from the previous week. And listener events of 30 seconds or less. As it always works, the fewer listeners we have, the better this metric. 66.7% of the folks listened in for just a little bit, then took off for greener climes there on the interwebs. And that's way down. 89.4% was the number the week before. And our top 3 countries by listener minutes: USA back on top, followed by Germany and Russia. And the podcast statistics, 44,197. Which is down just slightly from 45,672 the week before. All right, so news of the IBRT. Of course, the big story this week. Well, we did another live show for the first time since Christmas, first time since early December. We were back on the boards, and in this case, it was the boards of the Coffee Landing Cafe in International Falls here. Had a wonderful time. It was a very small show. It was a very downsized show. We just had 3 of us, myself, playing engineer, as well as several of the parts, and my lovely wife, Diane Adams, very talented writer and actor here, as well as Caleb Silver is back on the board. And if you didn't get a chance to listen to it on this station, on the streaming station, it is available on the video on our YouTube channel. Now, right now, the video is restricted to those folks that bought e-tickets. And that's, I don't want to, if someone really wants to see the video, just email us at iceboxradio51@gmail.com, and I will be very happy to send the link along, because really the reason we sell the e-ticket is the ability to watch live. And there were a few folks that did that. I want to thank them very, very much. Also want to thank the people that wrote in to be part of the Messages from Beyond program. That was a lot of fun, because especially for the folks there in the room with us, because it was a very Minnesota day. We had a lot of very windy weather leading up to the evening. Actually, the exhaust from the furnace was right outside this large window that they have there in the back, right behind us on stage in the Coffee Landing, and the steam was just whipping back and forth rapidly. Made it look very much like there was a tornado or a hurricane in force. There wasn't. It was just really cold and really windy. And then we actually, in yesterday, dipped way down in temperature into the minus 20 range. And I will, for those of you watching on video on Facebook, I will cut away to Skycam 1 in just a little bit to give you a look what it's like outside right now. But completing what was going on there at our wonderful Coffee Landing show, we did one original piece, which was called The Children's Room. And I thought that was an important thing to write. I did get one comment. Someone said, good show, except for the leftism, which I'm more of a centrist, in my opinion. And you'll get a chance to listen to the Children's Hour here coming up in a month or so on the IBRT Plays podcast, I promise. And I thought I thought our performances were fine. Technically, couldn't really find any problem with the show at all. I did start the recording a little bit late, which I always kick myself for, because that's like the easiest thing to do, because you can always start the recording early. You can just start recording everything 5 minutes before the show, and boom, we're still good to go. Other than that, I think everyone seemed to have a very good time. Our musical guests were the Plucked Pair. The Plucked Pair consists of Carrie Elioid and Darcy Sullivan. That's half of the Mother Pluckers. And they said the Mother Pluckers may be getting back together for summer, which, yeah, I could see that. It's just there's not that many opportunities to play around here in International Falls in the wintertime, which unfortunately we're still very much in the throes in. We're now officially in March. It's March 1st, but the truth of the matter is it doesn't feel very Marchy. And well, here, that's a good segue for me to move. For those of you watching on video, let's take a look at Skycam 1. It is beautiful outside. It is beautiful sunshine. It's been sunny all day, sunny and still, which often comes along with being below zero, which it was this morning. Last time I checked the temperature, it was 15 above. That's cold enough. Thank you very much. And with no wind, that's not too bad. I don't mind that too much. But yeah, we might have a little snow this week, but it doesn't look terribly likely. And, as you can see, if you're getting the video feed, there's cars going back and forth. The road is completely clear, and it's very still and very quiet. and just kind of like the world is waiting. We're through with the holidays, we're through with the new year, we're through with Valentine's Day, for gosh sake. We're kind of moving on to the what I call the forced holiday season, where we sort of, build up. There's always holidays, right? There's holidays every single month and every single week, but certain ones get sort of built up, like St. Patrick's Day and Cinco de Mayo and all of that. And that's just the between. I guess the next big event would be March Madness, which is probably coming up before we know it. I don't even know how my various colleges are doing. I'll have to look that up at some point. Next, our other IBRT news, kind of moving into a writing stage, to be honest with you. I was thinking about various story ideas, sat down with pen and paper and started jotting down a couple of ideas for what the next play might be. And what I'd really like to do is go to work on Lance Manley Library Detective, because it has been a while. Well, it's been close to a year since we had one of those. And I did very much enjoy getting together for this show, this Coffee Landing show. We did all the rehearsals in our studio here at the house, and that felt good. It just felt good on a cozy night to be inside with friends, reading from scripts and having a good old time. And of course, that's probably how we will move forward with the next Lance Manley. Can't tell you more than that. I got 5 or 6 ideas, and we'll just have to work one of those out. What other news coming up? Oh, yes, Roadkill. That is the show that's in the can. It is recorded, and that will probably be the job beginning Tuesday or Wednesday this week, is me beginning with sound effects and then thinking about music. But the plan now is you'll get to hear Roadkill starring Linnea Yunt and Dalton Johnson. You'll probably get to hear that in April, because in March you're going to be hearing actually the Coffee Landing show, or at least sections of the Coffee Landing show on the IBRT Plays podcast. And you know what? I'm going to call that the end of the news. If you have questions or comments about the Icebox Radio Theater, or you just want to say hi like Sheila does. Hello, Sheila. Sheila just said hi on the comments here on Facebook. You can always write us, and that's at iceboxradio51@gmail.com.
Founded by John Barkowski in 1934, the Coca-Cola Bottling Company of International Falls is your local distributor of soft drinks, water, energy drinks, beer, and liquor. Their soft drink, water, and energy portfolio includes Coke, Diet Coke, Body Armor, Dasani Water, Powerade, Monster, and sparkling ice products. Their beer portfolio includes Budweiser, Busch, Kona, Miller, Leinenkugel, Lake of the Woods Brewing, and more. They also distribute liquor-based packages, including Cutwater and neutral drinks, as well as spirits produced by local distillers Cantilever and Lake of the Woods Distilling. And Coca-Cola Bottling Company of International Falls is proud to support the International Falls 4th of July celebration, as well as the Icebox Radio Theater on their 20th anniversary. Coca-Cola and your local Coca-Cola distributor, a recipe for magic.
Okay, thank you so much, Justin. Commercial we recorded for one of our 4th of July pop-up radio station spots from a year or so ago. More than a year ago, because I was celebrating our 20th anniversary. Now it's time here on Live for the Icebox for adventure. We're going to begin, of course, with the big show from the Icebox Radio Theater, and that is Bush Pilot, the pilot episode entitled Skill. Very special episode, of course, because Bush Pilot, the entire series, was written by Dave Irwin of Fort Francis, Ontario. Dave, of course, from about, I'm going to say from about 2005 until 2012 or 13, maybe even later than that, was our sound effects director. He built all kinds of props. One of my favorites, if you ever go to Frozen Frights and check out, I'm sorry, not Frozen Frights, if you go to the Old Time Icebox podcast and check out our production of Three Skeleton Key, you will hear an amazing effect he created, a little mechanized device which sounds exactly like the clockwork in a lighthouse, in like a 19th century lighthouse. Maybe we'll do that next week. We need a double up episode. Maybe we'll do Three Skeleton Key starring Vincent Price and then Three Skeleton Key starring us. But that's next week. This week, it's adventure time. So what's Bush Pilot about? Well, Bush Pilot grew out of an interest that Dave had in the history of aviation in Ontario, Canada, especially Northern Ontario, which is rugged, to say the least. Not unlike the stories you hear about bush pilots in Alaska. in which you had mining operations and you had a lot of operations that required to get people deep into the bush where there were no roads. There was occasionally a railroad, within 100 miles of where you wanted to be. But in those days, as now, a float plane usually a float plane was your best bet to get from A to B. And he really wanted to come up with a series that exemplified that and celebrated that bit of history. And I think we have 3 or 4 episodes, and this one, entitled Skill, is the first. It stars Jim Yunt as Mark Black, the bush pilot, as well as the whole gang is in there. I think I'm in for a couple of lines, and Diane comes in as well. And this particular episode was actually broadcast over the internet live as part of our Bundled Up Theater Festival in 2015. So without further ado, it's adventure time. On Live from the Icebox, here is Dave Irwin's Bush Pilot with the pilot episode, Skill. Back in the day when this country was still largely unexplored, small towns across the north were still only accessible by long and tedious train journeys. Often where the train tracks ended, so did civilization. Lakes and rivers had been the main thoroughfares for millennia, traveled by canoe in summer or snowshoe and dog sled in winter. Then to the hinterland came a new conveyance, the bush plane, hardy little aircraft that would take adventurers and public servants to remote places few men had ever seen. The men who jockeyed these aircraft were an intrepid lot, a breed unto themselves. Many had learned their flying skills courtesy of the military in the hostile skies over Europe. The more adventurous types, the ones who despised the restraints of rule books and schedules, drifted north and became that unique band of independent and often ornery fellows known as the Bush Pilot. Tonight's story, Skill.
Border Flying Services. Can I help you? Timmy! Timmy!
Yeah?
Timmy, get off your tail and run out to the hangar. Tell Ben he's wanted on the phone.
Yes, ma'am.
Sometime today, kid. It's long distance.
Hold your horses. I'm getting my parka on. It's cold out there, you know.
It's only 15 below in February already. That's spring weather. Oh, hi, Mark.
Hi, Gert. How's my favorite dispatcher in the world?
Flattery will get you nowhere around here, sonny boy. You're not impressing some silly schoolgirl. But I do accept bribes.
You do me an injustice, Gert. Besides, you're old enough to be my grandma.
Another crack like that will earn you a nice trip to Round Lake with a load of air-sick sled dogs.
Your wish is my command, O wise and generous lady. See, I bring gifts. Coffee from town. Cream and 3 sugars just the way you like it. Not that wing de-icer Ben makes.
Now you're talking. And I do have a run for you, Mr. Black.
Hey, it's just Mark, please. Being called Black Mark all my life was unpleasant, shall we say.
Oh, pish posh. Mark Black is a good name. A strong name.
Well, it sure got me into more than my share of fistfights over the years.
Yeah, sure. You hang around drunken fools and that will happen.
Hey, now, you take it easy. Those are my friends you're talking about.
Pilots. Who needs enemies with friends like that, I wonder? What you need is a nice girl to get you to settle down.
Yes, Mom. Oh, morning, Ben.
Morning, Mark. Long distance call. Hey.
Okay, boss, gotcha. Maybe someday someone will invent a portable radio phone for civilians like the walkie-talkies they used back in the war. Oh, that sure would save a whole lot of running back and forth.
Maybe so, but who would want to drag one of those heavy things around with them all day? Besides, we have to keep Timmy busy.
Maybe Timmy could become your official phone carrier. Mind you, with the mess Ben just made on your floor, Gert, it looks like Tim will be busy mopping up until lunchtime. Now, about my next run.
I've got a plum for you this morning, out and back before lunch.
And the catch is?
Oh, Mark, you wound me to the quick. Ain't no catch. 3 barrels of kerosene to Redfern's camp, then a quick hop over to LaCroix to pick up the outpost nurse and ferry her back here. Half an hour for the 2 legs there, maybe 15 back. Besides...
Oh, wait for it. Here it comes.
I was going to say it's a new nurse, not old Horseface, the crabby spinster. This one is young, pretty, and bright as a brass button. Fresh out of college, but green as grass. It's your big chance to make a good impression on a cute professional girl. Play your cards right, and you just might get a date for the Saturday dance at the Legion out of this run.
And who said I needed a date? Or wanted one, for that matter? Gert's matrimonial service running at full throttle again. You getting a commission for this, Gert?
Sweet mystery of life, at last I found you.
I'm leaving now. I sure hope Tim got those drums loaded, because I'm out of here.
Ah, let an old lady have her fun.
CF 2975 to base.
Go ahead, 2975.
Can you get me a weather update, Gert? I'm circling Redfern's and it's pea soup right down to the deck. No way I can set down in this mess, and flying circuits is just wasting fuel. I'm going to pick up my passenger at LaCroix and circle back if there's any change in the weather. Otherwise, I'm going to have to scratch Redfern's delivery today. Over.
Roger that, 2975. I'll check the weather and get the update for you, Mark, before you take off from LaCroix. If you get in there, that is. Otherwise, the whole trip will need to be scrubbed. By the way, Mark, Ben's been crowing around here ever since he got off the phone. Some broker called from Vancouver, and Ben's the proud papa of a nearly new Fairchild Husky. Don't tell him I said so. You two may be heading to the West Coast to pick up his latest toy. Now, remember to call in when you know what's up at LaCroix. Over.
2975, roger that, Gert. That's what I love about this job. Every trip is subject to the weather cooperating. Over and out. A husky. Might be nice to fly something that isn't older than I am for once. You handling baggage today, Archie?
Yep, Mark. Your passenger is almost ready. She's been back and forth from the strip to the nurse's station 3 times in the last half hour, and she still isn't ready. She's a little nervous, I think.
How long has she been up here, Arch?
Near 2 weeks. She must have brought half the hospital with her.
Well, after a few trips, she may learn the joys of traveling light.
Hope so. I had to haul that stuff up and down the hill for her.
Well, at least I got Timmy to do that at my end. Her first time to LaCroix?
First time by herself. Still kind of skittish.
Oh, well, yeah, she'll either take to it quickly or head back down east with her tail between her legs. The good news is at least it's a short trip. We don't have to pump fuel and have gas to top this thing up.
My lucky dame. Oh, here she comes now.
I take it you're my ride back?
Oh, yes, miss, I am. This all your gear?
Is there room in there for everything?
I think we can squeeze it all in. Any mail to go out, Archie?
Just this small bag. Probably fit under your seat.
Is it a long trip, Mr.
Mark. Everyone calls me Mark, so it's only about 15 minutes back to the base, miss.
Oh, sorry. I'm forgetting my manners. I'm Andrea Marshall. Are we leaving soon?
As soon as the gear is stowed and I make a phone call back to check the weather. Maybe 5 minutes. Give me a hand, please, Archie. Stow the light stuff in back behind the drums.
So you didn't get your kerosene delivered, huh?
No, Redfern's was socked in. That's why I gotta check the weather.
Oh, is there a problem with the weather?
Oh, it's nothing we can't handle, miss. Weather between here and town is pretty good, but my other delivery was socked in. If it still is, then we'll head straight back to town.
We?
Yeah, this old beaver here, and yours truly, and you, Nurse Marshall. If it's cleared up, we'll make a quick detour to offload some fuel before returning to base. Why, is there somewhere else you need to be?
No, not really. My supervisor told me no one expects me to be back in town until I get there. I guess I'm not used to this kind of loose scheduling.
That's how things work around here. Weather controls the pace of everything in the bush.
Tell you what, miss, I'll radio ahead when we're 10 minutes out from the base for Gert to call you a cab, and That way you won't have to wait so long to get into town.
Thank you.
Well, that's the last of it. I'll just run up to the band office and make my call. Back in a sec.
Archie, are these things really safe?
Good question. Never been in one myself, but they've been flying here every week for the last 10 years. No crash so far. Just a broken ski one time. No sweat.
I see. This thing doesn't look very big to me.
Yeah, maybe, but it sure beats a 2-day hike on snowshoes. No snowshoes to reach the train in Crilly.
I suppose I'll get used to it in time.
We all ready to go here? Hey, let me give you a hand. 1 foot on the ski strut, that's it. Now, long reach up to that little step. Now, swing your foot inside and in you go. Maybe a good idea not to wear those high heel boots next time, miss.
And why not?
Well, they may look real pretty, but those heels can damage the plane or trip you up and land you face first in a snowdrift. Those city boots aren't really made for the bush.
Well, I never.
Need to do up your shoulder belt, miss. It's kind of complicated. Let me help. These come over your shoulder like this, then locks in here like this. Can I store your purse under your seat for you?
Oh, yes. Please.
We can't get into Redford's camp, so we have to lug this fuel back to base with us.
Is the weather bad?
It's nothing to worry about. It's clear all the way back to town, and without the fuel delivery, it's a short flight.
You're carrying fuel and me?
Hauling fuel is what pays the bills, miss. Passengers are just icing on the cake. Okay, Arch, stand clear.
See you next run, Mark.
Yeah, see you later, Arch. It'll be a tad bumpy until we get the old girl off the ice. And off we go. CF2975 to base. Do you read me, Gert?
CF2975. Hi, Mark. Gert's, busy. She told me to watch the radio for her. Over.
2975. You're coming up in the world, Tim, old boy. You'll be running the whole shebang before we know it. Tell Gert when she gets off, made it back to LaCroix okay, and have a passenger on board. But Fred at Redfern's told me on the RT the weather's still socked in. We'll have to hold off and offload that fuel again tonight. Sorry to say. Over.
Wonderful. Gert just got off the phone with the Met office. They said the weather report hasn't changed since you left. You hear about the new plane? Over.
Yeah, a Fairchild Husky. Remember to tell Gert I should be settling down in about 25 minutes. Yeah, we have a bit of a headwind. Over. And out. Would you like some coffee, Miss Marshall? The heater in this thing isn't much to write home about. May take off the chill a bit. You're not exactly dressed up for the weather conditions here, if I may say so.
Cream and sugar?
You only get that in the first class section, miss. Sorry, it's black, I'm afraid.
Thank you. No.
Pardon?
No! Thank you!
See that plume of smoke dead ahead, miss? That's the paper mill in the fort.
Yes.
Oh, perfect.
Well, what? What's the matter?
Ah, the damn engine quit.
Well, you can restart it, right?
Come on, you son of a bitch. Pardon my French, miss.
Well, what do we do? We're going to die, aren't we?
Not if I have anything to say about it. Look around for a place to land. A lake, a river, some open space. Do you see anything?
All I see is trees.
The creek to my right is no good. It's too winding.
Wait, ahead, there on the left. A clearing. Is it big enough?
It'll have to be. We don't have enough altitude to look anywhere else. You see that small wheel on the console between us?
Where?
The black knobbly one just beside your right knee.
I don't... Oh, yes, I got it.
Okay, roll it back toward you, slowly, until the arrow's at 20. It's the flaps. That gives us more lift so we don't stall quite as soon.
Okay, it's at 20.
Roger, flaps 20. You'll make a good co-pilot one day, Miss Marshall.
I should live so long.
CF 2975 to base. Mayday. Repeat, Mayday. Lost our engine. We're about 17 miles west of Lake LaCroix, almost to Kingfisher Lake, and about half a mile or so south of Mahingan Creek. Put down in a clearing on a heading of 122 degrees. Over.
Roger, 2975, reading you 5x5, 7 miles west of LaCroix, near Mahengan, headed 122 true. Good luck, Mark. Sit her down safe. I'll buy the first round tonight. Over.
7-5, roger that, Ben. We're going to need it. Over and out. Tighten your shoulder belt, miss, and cover your head with your arms. This is going to get a little bumpy. Well, here goes nothing.
Watch out! You're heading for that tree! Turn! Turn!
Quiet, girl. Let me concentrate.
Oh, please, don't let him hit that tree!
Hang on to your hat.
You're gonna hit the tree! Oh, shit!
Will our intrepid travelers survive to tell the tale? Will Mark be blamed for damaging the plane? Tune in next time for the next adventure of Bush Pilot. In our last chapter, our intrepid travelers lost their engine, returning to base.
You're going to hit the tree!
Mark has crash-landed the plane in a field, but one wing clipped a solitary tree in the middle of a massive expanse of snow. Are Mark and the pretty nurse Andrea safe? We now continue with our story.
Ow. Well, that went better than expected. Let me help you out of that harness. Are you okay? You have a small scrape on your cheek there.
Yes?
Please move back from the wreckage. The engine's still hot, and there is fuel all over the place. We could still have a fire. Here, catch the emergency kit.
Are you blind? Or just out of your mind? One tree in the whole field and you managed to fly right into it, you crazy idiot!
Well, they say any landing you can walk away from is a good landing.
Are you nuts? Where did you learn to fly, anyway?
Got my license in Saskatchewan in 35. Did some training in Brandon, Manitoba. Been flying these old crates 5, maybe 6 years.
You could have killed us!
Very true. Any dead stick landing is pretty much a crapshoot. Would you mind helping me stretch out these red panels so they can see us from the air? Once that's done, I'll get a fire going so we can stay warm till we're picked up.
Sure, because I have nothing better.
You sure you're okay? You're limping a bit.
What do you care? For your information, I bumped my knee when you wrapped the plane around the tree. You know, the tree that had 100 feet of clear space on either side that you could have landed on. Besides, one of my boots is full of snow.
Could have been worse, I guess. Might have broken both our necks. Here, I clear some snow off this stump. Take the weight off your knee while I get a fire going. We could be here a while. At least we got a message out to base before we went down. That should save them some time finding us.
Do you think they'll find us soon?
I think so. Good visibility and all. Still have 3 or 4 hours of daylight left. We might have to hike out to the nearest lake, though. Can't land a plane up here and expect to get it back up in the air again.
Will we have to stay here overnight? Are we safe from animals?
Overnight? Your guess is as good as mine. Only animals to worry about are bears and wolves up here, and bears are still hibernating. The fire will keep the wolves away, so yeah, we'll be safe enough if we stay warm. Miserable, but safe.
Why did the engine stop?
Yeah, most likely a blocked fuel line. All you need is a drop or two of water in the fuel and the gas line freezes up. One of the joys of winter flying.
I don't think much of your equipment maintenance.
Can't argue with that, miss. But I just drive them. Don't fuel them. Or fix them. The boss won't be very happy either. I kind of bent his favorite plane. He won't salvage much from this mess. Listen.
It's not the mechanic's fault you hit that tree.
Look. There.
Well, I hear. Where?
Hand width above the horizon, directly below the sun. You see it?
I don't see where...
It's flying south to north. On his next circuit, he should come right over our heads. Help me throw these wet pine boughs on the fire.
It's making too much smoke. It's getting in my eyes.
Well, that's the whole idea. Smoke, I mean. They'll spot our smoke faster than fire in the daylight. I think they see us. The plane is turned this way and is wagging his wings.
I see it. How did you see something that small?
I eat my carrots.
Hey, we're down here. Oh, they didn't see us. They flew off.
They saw us all right. Saw Ben. He waved and motioned to the north.
They didn't land.
They try to put down in this clearing, and Ben has 2 bent planes to worry about. And 2 more guys to be rescued. Remember what I said earlier? We'll have to land on a lake and hike in. This is a clear cut full of nasty stumps under the snow, like the one you're sitting on.
Wait, what's that?
Well, I'll be. That's a hydrocopter. You must be quite the VIP to warrant them coming out. It's the only helo between the lakehead and the Manitoba border. If it was just me standing down here, they would have put down on a lake and made me hike all the way out.
You're not wearing a nurse's uniform and nylons.
Yeah, I wondered about that. Old Nurse Abbott used to wear long johns, Mackinaw pants, and snowpacks, same as me. Like I said, this is no place for fashionable duds and all. If you don't dress up for the weather here, well, it'll kill you without a second thought. This ain't Southern Ontario, if you don't mind me saying so.
Oh, shut up.
Holy crap. Mark, you really bent this one up? What happened?
Oh, hi, Buster. Yeah, the usual. Engine failure, probably a blocked fuel line. Not much altitude in a cab, so limited choice of places to land. Couldn't make it to any of the lakes. I'll get Miss Prim's gear so we can get this show on the road. At least you fellas got a change of scenery out of it this afternoon. Better than looking for hot spots along the hydro lines all day, huh?
Yeah, I get all the fun. That your passenger? Cute kid, looks a little shook up.
Yeah, my flying made quite a first impression on her. In a pig's eye.
Oh, I looked things over before setting down. Impressed the hell out of me. Put her there.
Thanks. Ow!
Oh, you okay?
I felt better in my time. But I think I may have bruised a rib or 2. Better see to the girl first. She must have smacked her head on something when we hit.
Let Cal take a look at you before you start lugging her gear. You don't look too good. He might have busted something. You could be in shock.
Anything's possible. But so far everything works. More or less. But I'm going to feel it tomorrow. You know what they say. Any landing you can walk
away from is a good landing.
Right.
Here, let me take a look at that grape, miss.
It's nothing, really. I'm lucky to be alive with that jerk flying that thing.
Nurses, and how would you know your condition? Were you able to examine your own face?
Well, no, but I was just
a scrape. It needs to be cleaned. Maybe a bandage. Mark's insisting. Now, let me check your scalp. No other bangs. You're right. You're a very lucky girl indeed.
Look at what he did. The whole field to land in, and he flies right into the only tree in the clearing. He smashed the plane to pieces. It's like he tried to hit that tree.
Yeah, that's some flying, all right.
Some nerve. He told me he's been flying for 5 or 6 years. Some experienced flyer he is. Where did he get his license? The bottom of a Cracker Jack box? I wasn't born yesterday. No wonder he's flying way out here in the boondocks.
Well, he may have underplayed things a little.
Oh, really?
Really? Well, the way I heard it was he got his ticket when he was still 15. Then in 39, he joined the Air Force, and after basic training was shipped overseas. He was seconded to the RAF. Flew with them over Europe for 4 years. Yeah, wounded a couple of times, they say. He was shot down once over the Channel and once over the Thames Estuary. As I heard it, he was 1 kill short of becoming Canada's second triple ace, before being down the second time. In flying circles, we call guys like him a hero.
Oh.
After being shot up the second time, they sent him home. He spent the rest of the war making life miserable for rookie pilots at the Commonwealth Flying School in Brandon. Best damned instructor in the group, I'm told. Refused a commission because he hated regulations. He mustered out with a fistful of medals I've never seen him wear. He turned down job offers from Trans-Canada Airways, United Airlines, and the States, they say. Mark loves flying by the seat of his pants.
I find that a little hard to believe.
Watch and learn, kid. Hey, Cal, come over here, will you?
Yeah, Buster, what is it?
Hey, tell this young lady what you told me as we were setting down the egg beater.
Oh, you mean about the drums?
Yeah, about the drums.
Well, miss, you see those 3 red barrels over there?
The squashed ones?
Uh-huh. The 3 laying 20 feet from what's left of the plane. How much you think one of those drums weighs full?
I don't know.
Cal?
A little over 400 pounds each.
Yeah, that's over 1,300 pounds of kerosene. And where were those drums located on the plane?
Right behind her seat. Am I right, miss?
You went to college, right? At least nursing school.
Yes.
What happens when something comes to a sudden stop? Say like a plane ski hitting a stump hidden by the snow? Like the one you're sitting on?
Everything in the plane flies forward?
And you get crushed like a bug by half a ton of drums.
Oh.
Exactly. So, why didn't that happen, Cal?
Mark deliberately clipped the tree with his wings, spun the plane around the tree trunk.
So, tell the lady what happened to the drums.
Well, the drums kept going straight, right out the side of the plane, instead of squashing both of them.
So, instead of cleaning you out of the wreckage with a teaspoon, we just had to patch up that pretty little face of yours.
Best flying I've seen in 20 years. That's one lucky pilot.
No, luck had nothing to do with it.
But why didn't he say something? I made such a fool of myself.
No, Mark's not one to blow his own horn. He just gets the job done. Besides, I'll bet that it hurts him to talk right now. I'll give you $1 to donuts. He has a couple of busted ribs. He's breathing awful shallow, and he looks kind of green around the gills. He's probably in shock. We better get you 2 over to the hospital at the fort.
It's like they say, there are old pilots and bold pilots, but there's no old bold pilots.
Oh, I am such an idiot.
That, ladies and gents, is what they call skill.
Precision flying at its best, or maybe crashing with style. I better give him a hand.
My God, the man is dragging my bags over to the helicopter by himself. Some nurse I am. I was so mad at him I didn't even recognize he was injured.
Oh, you're new in the north, miss. Cut yourself some slack. Being up here is pretty disorienting for anyone at first. You just celebrated your first cycle in an isolated community by being in a plane crash.
I feel so humiliated.
Mark don't hold grudges. Buy him a beer and he's right as rain. If you're old enough to get into the beer part of that is.
I'll have you know, I'll be 23 next October.
This girl has some class, Cal, my son. He likes to hoist a pint or 2 at the White Pine Inn on Scott Street when he isn't flying.
Well, I see Buster patched you up already. I think I found most of your things, miss. Took me a while to locate your purse. It was in some bushes 10 feet from the plane. Oh, and I found this earring inside your uniform cap, but I'm afraid it reeks of avgas, though. When you sort your stuff out, make a list of any lost and damaged gear and send it to Ben, and he'll give it to the insurance company.
I'm sorry, Mark. I owe you an apology. Mark what? I don't even know your last name.
I didn't tell you my last name.
Please, I'm sorry. We got off on the wrong foot. It was my fault. Flying scares the crap out of me.
Oh, for pity's sakes, his name's Black. We call him...
My right arm is still working pretty good, Cal, so you just be careful, Sonny.
Touchy.
You are hurt. Let me check this right
Ah!
here.
Go! Don't do that. It hurts when you...
Oh, quit fussing. Don't be such a baby, Mr. Black.
Can't just wait till we land in the fort? Oh, yeah. Buster, can you call in and have Gert order the lady a cab? I promised to call one for her, but...
Are you nuts? A cab? There's an ambulance waiting for you, too, when we sit down.
Will you three please shut up? I can barely hear the engine over your palaver.
This has been Bush Pilot, an original series written by David Irwin. Your cast featured Dave Irwin as Cal, Jeffrey Adams as Ben, Tom Bement was Buster, Cody Boyer portrayed Archie, Beth Nelson played Timmy, Diane Adams was Gert, Karen Schickel was Nurse Andrea, and starring Jim Yunt as Mark Black, the Bush Pilot. Sound effects created by Dave Irwin and Katie Nelson, directed by Jeffrey Adams. The program was recorded live as part of the 2015 Bundled Up Theater Festival, February 28, 2015. Bush Pilot, Episodes 1 and 2 are copyright 2015 by the Icebox Radio Theater, all rights reserved.
Yes, indeed, that was Bush Pilot, Skill, the first episode ever of that particular series. If you didn't catch it, that was Dave Irwin, the author, on at the end as the pilot explaining exactly how skillful that was. I always meant to ask Dave if that was actually a legit thing that a small plane could do. If you had a load behind the passenger and the pilot, if you could actually clip a wing on a tree and spin it around so that everything kept going straight. I think the physics of that works out, whatever the case. Bundled Up Theater Festival, those were an awful lot of fun. That was like the first experiment we ever did here at the IBRT with live broadcasting. We were in our old Bacchus studio down there in the basement, room B6, and we just took, the initial one I think was in 2013, and it was 3 days, and I think we did that again in 2014, and then on 2015 it was just a one-day event. But it was split up. We did a little Bush Pilot original, as well as I think a couple of horror stories and some other things as well. Awful lot of fun. Love live broadcasting here at the IBRT. And it continues to this day. Continues to what we're hearing right now. Of course, live from the Icebox simulcast, triple simulcast. We are here on YouTube as well as on the streaming radio station, Radio Icebox. And in addition to that, broadcasting at 106.9 FM here in International Falls. Hey, and I would love to hear from anybody that is picking up the FM signal. I think the apartment building across the street should be able to get us. Just let us know at iceboxradio51@gmail.com, and we would love to say hello. Time now for some music appropriate that we should be featuring this gentleman. This is Myron Harlick from Fort Francis, Ontario, with Matt, I'm not going to get this right. Laissez-faire rouler. It's a French song. He's Canadian. Here's Myron on Live from the Icebox.
Come on, it's our invitation. Beware, boys and girls are playing sweet jazz tunes by the light of the moon. Here you find improvisation, music, drinks, good conversation. Said, say what? Je ne sais quoi. It's gonna be a fatal Laissez les beaux temps, laissez young again. We got a laid-back atmosphere. You can see things crystal clear. In Vino Veritas, you got savoir faire, you got class. It's gonna be a things I hope clean. Let's say they won't tolerate. Let's say they won't tolerate. Let's say they won't tolerate. I got to play my music every day. Let's say they won't tolerate. To the bone, come on down, say. Let's say they won't tolerate. Got to play my music every day. Let's say they won't tolerate. Simple play, come on down, say. Let's say they won't tolerate. 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 Let's say they won't tolerate.
The Sports Shop at the corner of 3rd Street and 4th Avenue downtown in the Falls is your location for hockey, bicycling, pickleball, and more. Need a new bike this summer? Oh, the friendly staff at the Sports Shop will help you find the perfect size and type for you. Check out their selection of e-bikes to get around town in style. Summer hockey is just around the corner, so come on in and make sure everything fits just right on the ice this season. And the Sports Shop has all the gear to help you get outside. They have pickleball equipment, baseball and softball equipment, and a wide selection of clothing and apparel. So come on down to the Sports Shop, an I-Falls institution at the corner of 3rd Street and 4th Avenue downtown. Check out their Facebook page for specials and area events. Come out and play at the Sports Shop. Indeed. Come down and play at the Sports Shop, unless, of course, you're interested in summer hockey. That is a ways away yet. Again, seasonal commercials that we're just using to add a little panache, little class to this episode of Live from the Icebox. Speaking of class, time now to keep with our theme of Northern Adventure. This is a series of old-time radio called Challenge of the Yukon, and the particular episode we're going to be enjoying today is entitled The Young Camper. You might know it better as Yukon King or Sergeant Preston, Sergeant Preston of the North. He is, of course, a Mountie in the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, and this was a series. This particular episode was broadcast on May 15th, 1952 originally. Host was Andrew Rhymes, and our star was Paul Sutton as Sergeant Preston. I believe this came out of WXYZ in Detroit, which was also the radio station that produced, if you can believe this, the Lone Ranger. It was sort of what they did. Lone Ranger and Green Hornet, I believe. Boy's Adventure, or Boy at Heart Adventure, is what that show that station specialized in. This episode, written by Fran Stryker, produced was George W. Trendle, and the director was Fred Flowerday. So it's an awful lot. It's a wonderful treat. If you've never heard Sergeant Preston, I think you're going to enjoy it. So let's enjoy now The Young Camper from the series Challenge of the Yukon on Live from the Icebox.
Now, as gunshots echo across the wind-swept, snow-covered reaches of the wild Northwest, Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice, the breakfast cereal shot from guns, present Sergeant Preston of the Yukon. It's Yukon King, swiftest and strongest lead dog of the Northwest. blazing the trail for Sergeant Preston of the Northwest Mounted Police in his relentless pursuit of lawbreakers.
On King! On, you husky!
Gold. Gold discovered in the Yukon. A stampede to the Klondike in the wild race for riches. Back to the days of the gold rush. With Quaker puffed wheat and Quaker puffed rice, bringing you the adventures of Sergeant Preston and his wonder dog, Yukon King, as they meet the challenge of the Yukon. Say, fellas and girls, for a delicious breakfast treat tomorrow morning, pour yourselves a heaping bowlful of taste-tempting Quaker puffed wheat or Quaker puffed rice, the ones shot from guns. And listen, big news is coming on this program in just a little while. Get paper and pencil ready. Keep listening. The sky was overcast. The night was dark and gloomy when an old prospector entered the trading post in Whitehorse in the Yukon Territory.
Well, hi, Hank. Just get into town?
Yep. Got a late start, Pat, but I'm running out of supplies, so I had to ride in to get some more. Here's the list.
Right. You have a dark ride ahead of you if you're going back tonight.
Oh, not me. I'm staying in town till morning.
What's the matter? You scared of the dark?
Yeah, you've gone home at night before.
Well, maybe so, but I'm not going along that cliff trail this night.
What's the matter, Hank? Something scare you on the way to town?
Well, as a matter of fact, Pat, something did make me sort of nervous.
Well, tell us about it.
Well, you all know about that deserted cabin that sits against the cliff about 2 miles out.
Say, that's the place folks call the ghost cabin, isn't it?
Yep. I never put much stock in the stories I've heard, but on the way here, when I was passing that cabin a while ago, I saw a flickering light, and a face appeared at one of the windows, and then the light went out. Oh, I'm telling you, it gave me such a start, I galloped all the way to town.
You must have been drinking some hard cider, Hank.
Yeah, you were seeing things.
Nobody's been in that cabin for a couple of years.
All right, go on, laugh all you want to. But I know what I saw, and I'm not going to ride back past that ghost cabin tonight. I'll pick up those supplies in the morning, Pat. And now I'm going to get room for the night. So long.
The cliff trail ran south from town along the base of a ridge, which was spotted at intervals with low cliffs. About a mile from town, near a pine grove, Jack Saybrook, a young prospector, lived with his wife Betsy and his 10-year-old son Johnny. It was the following day when Jack came to the cabin for noonday dinner.
Hi, Betsy. Dinner ready?
Be ready in a minute, dear.
I see you're setting only 2 places. Where's Johnny?
He's out in the pine grove playing camper.
Oh.
He has an old blanket set up as a tent.
But what about his dinner?
Well, he wanted to roast potatoes in a campfire, but I decided that would be dangerous, so he took his dinner out there to eat it.
What'll the youngster think of next?
Poor Johnny. He's rather lonesome without playmates, Jack.
Yeah.
As long as he finds something to occupy his time, I'm satisfied.
Hello, Dad. Mom, I want some more food.
All right, son.
Now, look, Johnny, I think you'd better sit down here with us and eat the rest of your dinner.
Aw, gee, Dad. I want to play camper. I'd rather go out to my tent and eat.
Well, have it your own way.
Gosh, I wish I had a real tent and some kind of a camp stove.
Things like that cost plenty of money, son. Anyhow, the only tents I've seen around town for sale have been large ones. And the camp stoves they sell are too complicated for a boy to handle.
You sit down, Johnny. There's more dinner for you.
I suppose I might as well.
Early that afternoon, Sergeant Preston arrived in Whitehorse with his great dog, Yukon King. The sergeant was talking to the constable at Mounted Police Headquarters.
I'm here, Constable, because of the report you sent headquarters. You found any clue to the crooks who've been operating around here since you sent that report?
No, I haven't, Sergeant. There seems to be a small gang at work. Several robberies have taken place, but the crooks managed to get away and stay under cover.
I see. None of the victims have recognized any of the crooks.
No. And each of them gives a different description of the men in the gang. It seems they're always well masked when they operate.
That's usually the case, I mean in reference to the descriptions. The victims are nervous and upset when a holdup takes place. Consequently, they don't seem to be very observant.
The only people who seem to agree are the few who've reported seeing the ghost of old Stebbins out at Ghost Cabin on the Cliff Trail.
I've heard some of those stories. Someone else come in with such a report?
Yes, old Hank, the prospector. He said last night he came by there and saw a face at the window.
Oh, what do you think about it?
Well, his story tallies with all the others. First he saw a flickering light, then a face at the window for a moment.
You think he imagined that?
I don't know, Sergeant. I went out there this morning to investigate. I've been out there before, too. But the place is just like old Stebbins left it. Run down, dust all over everything, old worn carpet on the floor. I found nothing to show anyone has used it since Stebbins died.
I suppose old Hank did imagine it after all. But it's strange that everyone's story is the same.
Well, it may be that having heard the first story about the ghost cabin, the others expected to see the same thing, if they saw anything at all.
That's possible.
Now, believe me, Sergeant, I investigated thoroughly. I feel certain no one is using that cabin.
Well, in that case, we'll forget about it. Now, give me the details of the robberies that have taken place recently, Constable.
That evening, at the cafe in town, two men sat at the table talking in low voices.
Well, we really ought to get our biggest haul tonight, Cal, when we bust into the mining office and grab that payroll.
Yeah, and luck is with us, too, Sid. Looks like it's going to rain before the night's over.
I count on that, so's our tracks will be washed out. Jake and Frank are sitting back there waiting till we go out. Then they'll follow. The horses are already hitched behind the mining office.
We sure have the law worried, Sid. You plan things well.
Thanks. With the hideout we have, we're plenty safe. Oh, when you get a chance, just amble back and get word to the others that we'll be moving about midnight.
All right. I'll go tell them now.
At midnight, four figures met behind the mining office. A few drops of rain fell as they stood waiting for orders.
Now, this'll be easy. We'll force the back window. Jake will stay out here as lookout. Kel, you're the smallest. So we boost you through the window, you unbolt the back door. Frank and I'll come in. Now, do you get it?
Yeah, we got it.
I've been inside enough to look over the safe. I got what we need to blow it with. Now, we'll clean it out, get to the horses, and separate just in case. We'll meet in the pine grove about a mile down the trail. Then we'll head for the hideout together.
It's already starting to rain, so our tracks will be washed out quick. Sure.
All right. Let's mask our faces to be on the safe side. Now we'll get started.
A short time later, the men at the cafe, just two doors from the mining office, were startled by a muffled explosion.
Hey, did you hear that? Sounded like an explosion. Let's look outside and see what it was. Come on.
A few moments later, the crowd reached the back of the mining office. The back door stood open, and a thin veil of smoke slowly floated out the doorway.
Great saints, look at that now. They must have robbed the mining office. Let's look inside. Yep, the safe has been blown open. I'm going to go tell the constable.
A short time later, the two Mounties arrived at the scene of the crime. A crowd was still gathered at the back door of the mining office, and others had ridden by.
It'd be useless to try to find their trail now. We wouldn't know which tracks to follow, even if it weren't raining.
Well, maybe they didn't even leave town, Sergeant.
That's possible. We'll do all the investigating we can around town. We may find someone who saw the crooks. First, though, we'll arouse the office manager and find out how much was taken. Come on, King.
That night, the boy, Johnny Saybrook, had waited until his parents were sleeping. And then he had eased out of the cabin and went to sleep in his makeshift tent in the pine grove down the trail. At first, the light rain didn't disturb him. But finally, as it rained harder, the water soaked through the blanket and woke him.
Golly, I'm getting all wet. I'll have to go in the cabin quick.
As Johnny started to crawl from the soaked tent, he heard horses stopping nearby in the grove. Though he couldn't see anything in the darkness, he heard voices.
Waiting long?
No, Jake and I just got here.
We're safe because of this rain. Nobody will be able to trail us.
You're right, sir. Reckon the ghost will keep folks away from the hideout so we can stay there, too.
Now, let's get going. I'm getting soaked. I don't feel much like a ghost right now.
Well, with a cliff for a roof, you'll also be dry and comfortable. Come on, let's go.
Get up, man.
Golly, a ghost was with them. Maybe they're all ghosts of outlaws or something. I better get inside quick.
The following morning, Sergeant Preston entered the constable's office with King.
Well, good morning, Sergeant. You left the cabin mighty early. I didn't hear you go out.
I wanted to do some more inquiring about the robbery last night. Hate to think of those crooks getting away with $5,000.
You find out any more?
Well, I did find a man at the hotel who looked out the window when he heard the explosion. He claims he saw 2 masked riders come from between the buildings and head out the cliff trail.
Well, that's something.
Yes. Of course, we got our horses and ride out that way, but frankly, Constable, I'm stumped. The sun's out, but the rain last night was certainly in their favor.
Yes, it sure was.
There's nothing for King to go on. The tracks are washed out. But in spite of that, King and I will continue this search.
We'll continue our adventure in just a moment. Say, Sergeant Preston, isn't outdoor life one of the greatest things about being a Mountie?
Why, yes, Jay. There's nothing like the thrill of pitching a tent under the open sky. And nothing tastes as good as food that's been cooked out in the open air. That's an experience every boy and girl should have.
Yes, fellas and girls. And here's the most exciting news of the year.
Right now, Quaker Puffed Wheat and Quaker Puffed Rice are offering friends of Sergeant Preston a marvelous new waterproof prospector's tent and a genuine all-metal camp stove.
The prospector's tent is made of sturdy, bright green plastic.
It stands 4 1/2 feet high, is 3 feet square at the base, and has a flap to close it up snug and tight.
It comes complete with tent poles, stakes, everything you need to set it up easily in just a few minutes, outdoors or in the house.
And listen, this keen waterproof prospector's tent is yours for only $1 and a box top from Quaker Puffed Wheat or Quaker Puffed Rice.
Now, in addition, you can also get a genuine all-metal camp stove that works.
It's not a toy. You can really cook with it.
On the top section, you can fry hamburgers, hot dogs, bacon, and eggs.
In the Dutch oven, you can bake potatoes, biscuits.
Over the broiler, you can cook cocoa, soup, beans.
There's a firebox to fill with twigs, charcoal, or canned heat for fuel.
And you can get this complete 4-piece camp stove, including handy combination stove tongs and cooking fork, for only 50 cents and a box top from Quaker Puffed Wheat or Rice.
Now, to get both tent and stove, the whole Sergeant Preston camping outfit, send 2 box tops from Quaker Puffed Wheat or Rice and $1.50.
Send to Camping Outfit, Box L, Chicago 77, Illinois.
With your order, you'll get a little booklet that tells you how to get the most fun out of your camping outfit with tips for safe camping and cooking.
What's more, if you aren't completely satisfied with your prospector's tent and camp stove, you get your money back.
Remember, grocers now have special new packages of swell-tasting Quaker Puffed Wheat or Quaker Puffed Rice with full offer details, plus order blank right on the package.
For the prospector's tent, send 1 box top and $1.
For the camp stove, send 1 box top and 50 cents.
For both tent and stove, send 2 box tops and $1.50.
But hurry, there's no time to lose. The supply of these Sergeant Preston camping outfits is limited.
Send right away, tonight, to Camping Outfit, Box L, Chicago 77, Illinois. Now to continue. Though the crooks had made a clean getaway, Sergeant Preston was determined to continue the search for them. He and the constable, with King, rode out the cliff trail, stopping at the few cabins along the way to make inquiries. Finally, they halted at the Saybrook place.
Well, ask the Saybrooks if they heard anyone pass here after midnight. Come along, King.
Hello, Sergeant. Hi, Constable.
How are you, Jack?
Come on in. We've just finished breakfast, but you're in time for some coffee.
Well, thanks, Jack.
Good morning. I didn't expect to see a couple of Mounties coming here so early.
Good morning.
Morning.
Is there some reason why you came here, Sergeant?
Nothing to do with you, Jack. There was a robbery in town last night. Crooks are thought to have come out this trail. Did you folks notice anyone passing here after midnight?
I didn't, Sergeant. I was sleeping.
So was I.
I see.
Gosh, I'm sorry we can't help you. Who was robbed?
The mining office. $5,000.
Oh,
Please, Mom, let me go out to my tent. I won't sneak out at night anymore. Oh, hello, Sergeant.
Hello, Johnny.
Oh, how are you, King?
Say hello to the constable, Johnny.
Oh, yeah. Hello, Constable.
Oh, hi, Johnny. I reckon when you saw King, you didn't notice me.
Yeah, that's right. Mom, will you
Now,
please
Johnny,
let me go...
don't pester your mother.
Aw, gee.
What are you so down about, Johnny?
I'll tell you, Sergeant. Johnny is being punished for sneaking out during the night to sleep in a tent he made from an old blanket.
Oh?
I found his clothes just soaked this morning.
But I didn't know it was going to rain, Mom.
That isn't the point, young man. The idea of sneaking out without telling us, to sleep in that makeshift tent. Why, anything might have happened.
Weren't you frightened to sleep out there alone, Johnny?
Well, not at first, Sergeant, but after the rain woke me up and I was about to come inside, I got scared.
Oh? What frightened you then?
Oh, nothing.
Johnny, answer the sergeant.
Well, I got scared when I heard the voices. I'm sure they were ghosts of outlaws or something like that.
Now, Johnny, no tall tales.
Honest, Dad, I did hear them.
Johnny, you'd better go back in the other room while we talk to the sergeant and the constable.
Oh, just a minute, Betsy, if you don't mind.
Of course, Sergeant.
Johnny, you say you heard voices?
Uh-huh. I heard horses stopping. It was in the pine grove, but it was too dark for me to see.
Go on, Johnny.
Well, I heard one of them say something about they were safe enough in the rain and that nobody'd be able to trail them.
I'll think hard, Johnny. What else did you hear?
Another one said the ghost will keep folks away. Then the first one said he was getting wet and didn't feel much like a ghost just then. I could tell there were others there, too. Then they rode away, and I ran into the cabin. If they were outlaw ghosts, I didn't want them to come back and see me.
Johnny, I've heard you tell many things you've imagined, but well, that story really takes the cake. You'd better
Wait a minute, Jack. I don't think the boy did imagine it.
Oh, I'm sure I didn't, Sergeant. I heard him as plain as anything.
Constable, I think we've got something.
You think Johnny heard the crooks were hunting?
Yes, I do.
But all that ghost talk...
I've an idea about that. Johnny, I think you've put us on the right track. If it proves out that you have, I'll bring you a present. Whatever you want most.
Golly. I want a real tent, a small one, and a camp stove. That's what.
If we catch these crooks, I'll see that you get them. Come on, Constable. We have a job ahead of us. Let's go, King.
Goodbye, Sergeant.
Goodbye, Sergeant. Goodbye, Constable.
Hastily leaving the Saybrook cabin, the sergeant and the constable mounted and headed along the cliff trail away from town.
You seem to have a definite place in mind, Sergeant. Where are we going?
To investigate the ghost cabin.
But I already investigated that.
I'm sure Johnny heard the crooks talking last night. And what he heard them say about the ghost gave me the idea that in some way this ghost people have seen at the cabin window was for the purpose of keeping folks away from there.
Well, yes, that's possible.
Evidently, that cabin covers a hideout. Perhaps there's a trap door in the floor.
I didn't think of anything like that. It is possible.
We'll see. Anyway, I'm convinced we're on the right track. Now, all we have to do is discover the secret of their hiding place. Come on, Blackie.
Get it.
The two Mounties rode the distance to the ghost cabin in record time. They stopped just around a bend and approached the place on foot.
Quiet, King. Look, Constable. Faint outlines of hoof prints going to the cabin. Rain must have stopped before they were entirely washed out.
That doesn't make sense. None of the marks go away from here.
I know. I see the door is hanging on one hinge.
It's evident nobody's hiding in there.
Yeah, we'll soon find out. Let's go inside. Let's look around a minute.
The two Mounties stood a moment looking the place over. A soiled Navajo Indian rug hung from ceiling to floor on the back wall, which was against the low cliff. A rusty stove, a couple of rickety chairs, and an old table completed the furnishings.
I admit the place does look unused. Let's pull back this floor covering and see what's under here.
All right. That's a plank floor. There's no trap door there.
Wait a minute. Look at these marks.
The floor's been scuffed by something.
I'd say it was scuffed by horseshoes, Constable.
Say, it does look that way, but who'd bring a horse?
The marks go from the door to that back wall. We'll replace the matting. You know, this begins to make sense. Have your gun ready.
All right, Sergeant.
I'll pull aside this wall rug. Look, crude door built into the back wall.
But the wall is built against the cliff.
That door is there for a purpose. I'll try it. It opens into a tunnel. Probably into an old mine.
Follow me. Come along, King. The tunnel led into a fairly large cave, in the ceiling of which there was an air vent. Crude chairs and a table, along with padded sacking for bedding, made it an ideal hideout for Sid and his men. The 4 horses were stabled off to one side. Sid and Kel sat at the table in the cave, counting out the mine payroll into 4 piles. The other 2 men were resting on the bedding.
We'll split this 4 ways, Kel. This is the best haul we've made yet.
Yeah. I reckon the law is running around in circles trying to find out who we are and where we went.
With the setup we have here, we'll be able to operate all summer. That's why I'm always telling you fellas to be sure not to disturb the dust or anything in the shack.
It was a lucky day for us when you got wise to this place.
Yeah. I came by, looked in the window, and saw that old fella Stebbins coming out from behind the wall rug.
You got his gold, didn't you?
Sure. I came in masked, and the old coot was so scared he dropped dead with a heart attack. I went back in here and found his gold, and then I left. After he was found and buried, I realized what a fine hideout this would make.
Look, what gave you the idea for that ghost Christmas?
Oh, that just happened. One night I heard hoofbeats just as I went into the cabin from the cave. Well, I was carrying a candle, see? I put out the candle, went to the window, and looked out. The fella passing by suddenly whipped his horse and went off flying. Well, the next day I heard the story he told about seeing a ghost.
I understand some of the men came out the next day to look around.
Yeah, but finding the shack just as Stebbins left it, dusty and all, they decided the man had been imagining things. Yeah, now the money's all divided.
Well, I'll take my share.
Wait, all of you. Hey, a couple of Mounties. Hold it. No!
All right, now you drop your gun.
No, Jake, Frank, gun him!
The 2 Mounties and King went into action.
Oh, they were too fast for us.
Get this dog away from me.
You're through. Down, King. Watch him,
I'll
fella.
pick up the guns.
Yes, and keep them covered. I'll take the cash. Mining company's sack still on the table.
King sure is well trained. He jumped one of them just as we gunned the other 2.
King's learned to jump a man when he goes for a gun. There, I have all the cash. Nice hideout you have here. Practically perfect.
How'd you find out?
Sometimes even a ghost talks too much. Oh, Constable, I recognize this one. He's Sid Krebs, an ex-convict.
Yeah, and you're Sergeant Preston. Must have been that dog.
No, for once even King couldn't trail you, Krebs. We have a young camper who was scared out by ghosts to thank for your capture.
I don't get it.
Well, that doesn't matter. We arrest all of you in the name of the Crown for robbery. Let's get them to jail, Constable.
That night, Sergeant Preston and King stopped in front of the Saybrook cabin.
Whoa, Blackie. Whoa, boy. Wait till I unload these gifts for Johnny, King, then we'll go in. All right, fella. Come on.
Well, Sergeant Preston and King, come in.
Thanks, Jack. Is Johnny going to bed, Jack?
Why, he's getting ready for bed right now. Johnny, Betsy, we have company.
Sergeant, did you catch the crooks?
Yes, Betsy, we did.
Oh, golly, Sergeant. Were they real crooks, like you said?
Very real, Johnny. There aren't such things as ghosts.
But they said
I
that...
know, son. They pretended there was a ghost at old Stebbins' cabin to keep folks from going there. They had a very clever hideout in the cave, which was entered through the cabin.
Well, I'll be doggone.
What's wrapped in those packages, Sergeant?
Well, why don't you open them and see, Johnny?
Oh, gosh. Oh, Dad, look. A real tent. Just big enough for a boy like me. Oh, golly.
Open the other package.
All right, Sergeant. A camp stove.
Yes, and that's yours, too. It's a small, compact stove on which you can cook lots of things, Johnny. And what's more, it's safe for a youngster to use.
You know, I could use that myself in the kitchen.
Oh, no, Mom. This is my camping stove.
That's right, Johnny. Now you have a camp stove and a real tent all your own. You could stay in that tent no matter how hard it rains.
Sergeant, it's mighty fine of you to bring those to the boy. They mean a lot to him. Why, any boy'd like to own a tent and camp stove like that.
Johnny earned them, Jack. If he hadn't been a determined young camper, we might not have caught those crooks. And now that they're in jail, the cash returned to the mining company, and Johnny has what he wanted most. This case is closed.
Sergeant Preston will return in just a moment with a word about our next exciting adventure. Remember, fellas and girls, Quaker popped wheat and Quaker popped rice are the ones shot from guns.
Yes, they're exploded up to 8 times normal size to make 'em extra crisp and tender.
What a luscious, refreshing breakfast treat these spring mornings with cool milk or cream and fresh strawberries or sliced bananas.
Enjoy a bowl of crisp, fresh Quaker popped wheat or rice tomorrow.
And listen, special new packages are at grocers now, offering the Sergeant Preston camping outfit.
Be sure to send right away for your prospector's tent, camp stove, or both.
You can get the wonderful new waterproof prospector's tent of sturdy plastic and ready to set up outdoors or indoors for only $1 and a box top from Quaker popped wheat or Quaker popped rice.
You can get the complete 4-piece all-metal camp stove to cook hot dogs, bake potatoes, fry eggs, a genuine camp stove for only 50 cents and a box top from Quaker popped wheat or rice.
Or you can get both tent and stove for 2 box tops and only $1.50.
Send to Camping Outfit, Box L, Chicago 77, Illinois.
Don't wait and miss out.
Send now, tonight, to Camping Outfit, Box L, Chicago 77, Illinois.
And now, here is Sergeant Preston.
Sergeant Preston reporting for duty, Inspector.
Sergeant, a telegrapher in Selkirk known as Pop was shot yesterday. The telegraph office and the express office are combined. The motive was robbery. A payroll of $20,000.
Do you suspect anyone, sir?
Yes, the young express agent is missing. I want you to find him and bring him in for questioning. His name is Ned Deming.
I know Ned Deming. I'll do my best, sir.
Sergeant Preston doesn't realize that in going after Deming, he's playing into the hands of a ruthless and clever killer. Be sure to hear this next exciting adventure. These radio dramas, a feature of Sergeant Preston of the Yukon Incorporated, are created by George W. Trendle, produced by Trendle Campbell Muir Incorporated, directed by Fred Flowerday, and supervised by Charles D. Livingston. The part of Sergeant Preston is played by Paul Sutton. Sergeant Preston of the Yukon is brought to you every Tuesday and Thursday. On Thursday, by Quaker popped wheat and Quaker popped rice. The breakfast cereals shot from guns. Only Quaker Pack-O-10 has all your family's cereal favorites. A regular cereal pantry. That's Quaker Pack-O-10. 6 different delicious, ready-to-serve cereals. 10 crisp, fresh, individual servings.
Okay, that's about enough free advertising for the Quaker Oats people. Well, that was, of course, Challenge of the Yukon, The Young Camper. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm kind of thinking, having been a 10-year-old boy and knowing a lot of 10-year-old boys, I think I'd rather Yukon King operate a camp stove than a 10-year-old boy, even if he is very resourceful like young, what was his name? Bobby? Jimmy? I honestly don't remember. Anyway, that was an episode, as I mentioned earlier, that was broadcast originally in 1952. The Sergeant Preston program, or the Challenge of the Yukon, actually had a couple of different lives, you could say. It was broadcast again, or was created at Detroit's WXYZ radio, which is still in existence, although they've changed call letters. Also the place where the Lone Ranger and the Green Hornet originated. So a wonderful place to create young boy adventure stories. And apparently it was after the Lone Ranger and the Green Hornet came along that there was the idea to have a northern adventure. And that's where we got Sergeant Preston. We at the Icebox Radio Theater, we do have a Sergeant Preston episode, one that we produced at the Salty Jester back in September of 23. And I was just wanting to make sure that it actually has turned up on a podcast feed. Yeah, I know. I should know this just off the top of my head. But honestly, sometimes there's been so many shows over the years, I just can't remember. But if you check into the IBRT Plays podcast on your favorite pod, what do they call it? Podcatcher. You should be able to tell then, or you should be able to get some information on where to find it. I think you got to go back about 20, 30 episodes. But it was a fun episode. And maybe we'll do a, do a double-up episode someday between another episode of Sergeant Preston, the Yukon, because that one was fun, but man, I don't know about that Sergeant Preston. It was very typical of the show, where you had ghosts, and you had bandits, and you had justice, and you had a kid wrapped up in the middle of it. It was a whole lot of fun, as I hope you had fun. Calm down, Ed. The Ed Wood soundtrack. Let's just actually do away with that, because I think it is just about time for our theme song, which is going there, because it's just about time to say goodbye here on Live from the Icebox. Live from the Icebox is broadcast mostly every Sunday at about 3:30 Central Time, available here on Facebook in video form, as well as on YouTube, and on its own podcast feed, which you can find on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, and just about any, or just at our website, iceboxradio.org/live from Icebox, I believe. I'll have to look that up, because I don't think it's actually linked on the front page. But again, if you really want a subscription to the podcast feed, just let me know, and I will send you the RSS along with it. No podcasts planned this week from the Icebox Radio Theater. We're going to be busy at work getting Roadkill ready for release in April, as well as checking out the Live from the Icebox Coffee Landing Radio Hour, and getting that ready to go in about 2 weeks here. I think you can see that on the IBRT Plays podcast feed. Again, that email address, if you have any questions or comments, iceboxradio51@gmail.com. And, or I should say, any of our socials, we can be found at Radio Icebox on Instagram, and at Icebox Radio on the X and the Facebook. So until next time, this is Jeff saying thanks for the download, and reminding you to keep listening.